Alright, hey everyone, it's Lasergician, playing a little bit of Mythgard today because this deck is super sweet. We're going to be playing a Stretcher deck today. It's an archetype that managed to win the first community tournament that Brasiah, another TRS member, was running last Saturday. Really fun archetype, very grindy. It revolves around this card, the Stretcher. When your opponent draws or discards a card, they lose 1 life. That means that when you combine it with things like Dragon's Teeth, which says every player draws an extra card at the start of their turn, you're doing a bunch of damage to them over time, and you can control the board and let the Stretcher do its work over the course of the game. So we run things like the Bolt from the Blue, Air Healing, Ice Spike, Forked Lightning, a bunch of the blue removal cards that also cantrip or heal up, Long Winter as a one of Mythics so that we can have everything come in stunned, a lot of slowing the opponent down, keeping their tempo at a minimum, Valkyrie Enforcer for getting big things out of the way, Cataclysm as a board clear and a finisher, and then a bunch of nice healing and removal options from red in the Extract Life for a bunch of healing and spot removal, Stray Panacea for granting some more life when it dies. You can also use Extract Life or your own bolts and whatnot to get the healing going. Firesong Prodigy, my personal favorite card for value generation and a couple more removal tools. Calliope Muse to filter through your deck to find the cards you really need. And then a couple top-end things like Howling Abyssal to finish off opponents when you're ready to start going on the aggressive, and Magmatar to keep the board clear. Now, this isn't the deck that was exactly run in the tournament to win. There's a couple concessions I made just for budget. For example, I could not run... Where is it? This guy, Magnus Thoresen, because I just don't have the card, and I don't have the dust required to make it, but this is a card that is very, very good in the deck. It's a nice tempo swing to clear all the board and get a 4/4 on board as well. But yeah, really fun deck, one that I've been playing a good amount of, that I just think is a lot of fun to grind people out with. So we're going to go take it into a couple matches, see how we do, and yeah, hope you guys think this is cool. Oh, for the path, we are taking Turn of Seasons because the starting life is nice, and we can get a couple extra card draws in there, and also heal back up when we enter into Spring. And for our power, we're running Smite because it's absurdly powerful, and we want to be doing damage over time, so when we have spare mana in the end of the game, in the later turns, we can put them on an even faster clock. So yeah, game time. Let's go check out how it does in action. Alright, going to hop into Ranked. That was very quick, jeez. Okay, cool. Jock is our opponent. Starting with 30 health, thanks to his Path of the Journey of Souls. We are on the play. Hey buddy, how's it going? I think I've played Jock before. I don't remember though. Rune of Denial is a fine burn here. We want to have Bolt from the Blue available next turn. See what Jock is playing. We're about to go into Spring, so we will gain 2 life. This path, anyone who doesn't know, Journey of Souls means that you basically get to recur some of your minions over time. Alright, so he's on some sort of enchantment deck, perhaps? This looks like a good card to play next turn, so we're going to burn the Ichor Feast, and we don't have a play right now, so we can just smite them and pass it over. So maybe an Earthslide deck could just be a value card. Let's see what his play is. Ice Spike, so he could be controlling as well. Okay, could be mono blue Valkyries. Very, very powerful archetype. Dragon's Teeth is nice, but not quite yet. We don't need 2 Enforcers, so we can just play down the Muse now. See if we can find a Stretcher. We do. That's what we're gonna want. And that turn. Probably not gonna play it yet, but it is a card that we want to have in hand for when we can play it. Okay, so he's blue-green mid-range? Alright, we can take care of a lot of this. 2 Stretchers. I kind of want to go for that and just get the train rolling. But they already have a bunch of cards out of hand. They don't have a whole lot to follow up with, so we can actually probably just clear this off. Magmatar is a great pull, but I don't think we need it yet. We can Ice Spike here. Burn the Enforcer. Bolt again. Just keep the board nice and clear. Okay, cool. Next turn we can either burn a Stretcher for Magmatar to clear off a whole bunch of things. We could burn Magmatar to get the Stretcher rolling. We have a lot of good options here right now. They're keeping up in mana production. What one's this? This is the 3/3, is that right? Yep. Okay. So, given what we have available, I like keeping Magmatar because I can try 2 for 1-ing. I don't think we're going to want to give them any cards anytime soon, so we're just going to get the Stretcher up. Start getting that repetitive value. And we don't need to really bolt anything, so I like the idea of healing up and drawing a card. Okay, Ichor Feast, good one for later, when we need to refill our hand. And the Stretcher starts doing its thing, getting some damage on a Jock over time. Expectation is that we are going to be playing Magmatar next. Ooh. That one's rough. That kind of helps. Armor 1 means it just reduces all of the damage it takes by 1, so Bolt from the blue will do nothing to it. This would only do 2 damage, and then same thing when it actually fights would only do 2 damage. Ah, it's a K9. I didn't know that. Interesting. So we can just drop the Magmatar now. Let it start doing its thing. And then burn the Stretcher, because we don't need another one right now. Bolt this. Draw a card. Okay, cool. This one's great because it can just chump block. And then next turn we can put that down as well as draw a bunch of cards, because we're doing pretty okay on life totals so far. Forked Lightning will now kill that. A second one does kind of suck. Getting another Magmatar is nice. I don't think we're that worried about our life total right now. So we can Magmatar. This will only do 2 damage, but then we can deal with it with a whole bunch of other stuff in our deck in the next couple turns. Stretcher doing some nice work. So this will do 2 damage when they fight. It does have overrun, so we'll take 3 damage, which is unfortunate, but we have a lot of life gain in this deck. We still have all of our copies of Extract Life unused. So this is a position this deck will be in pretty frequently, where you'll be teetering with your life total and playing around with it between losing life or value and then getting it back with some of your removal and healing spells. So we're still very comfortable in this position. Getting the K9s going. So they're just playing K9 Tribal, which is cool. We have a whole bunch of ways we could clear this board, and if we draw one, we probably just win. Ooh, that's kind of huge. Because this means we can silence that's armor. And the buff. Forked Lightning this. Everything dies because they lose the +1/+1 that they got from the K9 synergy. So next turn we're probably looking at Ichor Feast to start off with. We do have enough red gems and mana in order to play both that and the Howling Abyssal. Yeah, this is a very grindy deck that wants to win over the course of a whole lot of turns, play the long game. What's this do? Is this the life tap? Oh, Alpha Striker. Okay. Yeah, we'll Ichor Feast first. Okay, very good pulls here. Firesong Prodigy to start off with. This we're going to keep so that we can try and get the life gain soon. We're not worried about trying to close the game out, so we can get rid of that and Ignite over there. And with the leftover mana, we can smite them and pass it over. One of the reasons we run Turn of Seasons is for the healing that we get from Spring. It means that we get 2 health every 4 turns, which is one of those ways we can get a whole bunch of value healing over time. You should just trade this. Yep. Okay, and Enforcer. Let's start with the Muse. We want to play in this lane here, the second one, instead of directly head-on, because they have Swift, so if they moved and then used, some sort of Volition or something like that, that wouldn't be great. Bolt from the blue, looking real good right now, because that means next turn we can trade off the other one. We'll throw that here, lose 2, and then when they have to trade, we'll gain a bunch more back, and we can smite. We're not worried about tempo right now, so we can keep the Enforcers for if they play something a little bit bigger and we need to answer it immediately. Just keep them off of us for as long as we can. Now they also have Smite, so they can put us on a bit of a clock as well, but it is not as good of a clock as we put them on. Seeing as they were running a lot of Canine synergy, we're more likely to bounce this than we are to bounce the Freaky Scout. So we're about to go into Summer, which means we get to draw an extra... Oh, no, this is Heal. Fall is draw a card. So we're hoping they trade here, so we get the Heal. If not, not that big a deal. Is the trade going to happen? Nope. This is why we played this here, so that way we can move and also trade. We can bolt here, the way we set up last turn with the Divination. Okay, second copy of Stretcher. Puts their clock way faster. And now that we have 2 copies of that going, we want to be able to take tempo and try and close out in the next couple turns. So we're dealing 2 damage per draw, as well as 2 damage a turn with our smites. That's 4 damage a turn, as well as whatever we can get through with our creatures, and Valkyrie Enforcer can bounce anything that gets in our way until then. Yep, so that's a whole bunch of Canine synergy that they're getting there. We're going to bounce this so that we can get some attacks through. Ice Spike is phenomenal. Bounce here. Attack through there. Ice Spike to clear this off so we can attack through with this. No, actually we might do it here because that can't contest anyway. And then Muse we don't have enough mana for. There's no need to burn, seeing as we have plenty of mana already. And we're looking good to take the game next turn. Winterwolf, real good card. Unfortunately, not enough for them, because we do have just the attack and the smite next turn. They should have been burning more cards pretty much all along, but we'll give the kill to the Stretcher. 1 and 2, and there we go. That is how this deck wants to do it. Long games, nice and grindy, big removal, and a lot of nice tempo plays for when we do want to start going on the attack. Oh, nice. 30 points is nice too. And that'll be that. So that's a Stretcher. We'll take another quick look at the deck. So if you want to take a look, this is how we're looking. This is the entire list, so if you'd like to copy it, feel free. Is there a way to? I don't think there's a way to. Nope. But yeah, there will be a deck list in the description. And you can also find me streaming this game every now and again at twitch.tv/lasergician. You've already found my YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter. All of that will be in the description also. And check out teamrankstar.com for all of our great content. Until next time, I'm Lasergician signing off, and we'll see you guys next time.